Welcome. The man who can't sleep. Pop, 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 pop. You know I gotta have a video about LeBron. The Cleveland Cavaliers was very successful going up against the Phoenix Suns, as that's a game many thought they would win. As LeBron gets a triple-double, the whole world seemed to be in a frenzy going forward about LeBron's triple-doubles. As the sports writers and all the Naismiths in the NBA right now it's not even up for negotiation or exactly, Mr. Starsky. I've been telling you this for a while. Everybody is on a leash and they're controlled by the masses. Russell Westbrook, in all fairness, is a better basketball player than LeBron James. And I'm going to tell you why. A prime LeBron was better than Russell Westbrook. That's very hard to say, because Russell Westbrook has done everything LeBron has done at a younger age, besides winning an NBA championship. But he never left and went to a superpower team. But my thing is this: when Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double for the entire NBA season last year, everybody was criticizing the fact that he was doing that. LeBron James averaged a triple-double for the month of February, and basically is probably 2 rebounds off that now for March. They act like it's the greatest thing that's ever been accomplished in basketball. And this abuse of the media and making them write these what they call puff pieces on LeBron James is the reason the NBA and the fans are so confused and so screwed up, because they read the headlines. They see what's out there on the news. They see what's out there on television. So what you're running up against every day or every time you see the news is you're seeing garbage headlines all the time. They keep feeding you the same narrative over and over again. The writers, they always got to write something about LeBron and this and that. And they was like, well, you make videos about LeBron. I'm like, yeah, because that's what they promote. If they promoted the other games, we'll do coverages on all the games. But instead, they cover LeBron, and he's the catalyst for the entire league. Steph Curry, Golden State. So, yep, that's what you're going to see from me. The Cavs, I'm going to expose what they've created. No, he played on a team that was nice. They was losing when they had LeBron. The only way they began to win is when they had to do something with Chris Bosh. Bosh is the one that really had to alter his game to play around LeBron James, because that's not the game that Bosh had to play. Bosh even came off the bench the second year so that they could win. A lot of people don't remember that. Bosh even went to the bench in the finals to come out. He didn't even start. He started coming off the bench so they can help win. But if something went wrong, if they lost the game, they bring Chris Bosh instead of LeBron's terrible defense. LeBron has never been able to play defense. They feed you false narratives all the time. He's a bad decision maker when it's clutch. He gives up a lot. I just don't understand how people who watch the game of basketball can allow themselves to be manipulated so much by the media and what the NBA feeds them. The Jazz is a very good basketball team, and they've gotten even better. And the fact that they got Clam Chowder on the team, and Clam been playing a lot better since he's been with Utah, haven't he? A lot better than he was in Cleveland, which I told you that was a bad matchup. Nah, well, I just like to expose all the lies that people tell and feed you the truth. Damian Lillard will never get the credit that he deserves. CJ McCollum will never get the credit they deserve. Do you know why they won't get the credit they deserve? Because they're not marketable. That's how the NBA is like, look, we got Steph, we got Clay. That's marketable. Those guys are just as good. That tandem, those two, they're just as deadly. But they don't get the credit that they truly deserve. Now, Kevin Durant is a much better, he's better at LeBron in every facet of the game. LeBron is probably a better passer than Kevin Durant. Other than that, there's nothing LeBron James can do better than Kevin Durant. Nothing. So why do we gotta keep hearing at every interview, the LeBron James, the best player on the planet? I'm like, the best player on the, like, why do they keep putting that narrative out there? It sounds ridiculous. When you're watching him play and you're looking at the way he plays, and it's like, this is the best player on the planet? Playing like this? And then you understand it's marketing. You understand the marketing of it, but other than that, you're like, for real? I mean, he can have, basketball isn't always about numbers. I keep trying to tell you that. If you want to do numbers, let's do it this way. LeBron James beat up on teams that don't even have winning records. Let's talk about that. In the playoffs, he's faced 7 teams that wasn't even 500. With non-winning records in the playoffs. He's played against 7 of them. Kobe has never played against a team that had a losing record in the playoffs. Never. Matter of fact, he's beaten 25 50-win teams in the playoffs. Kobe Bryant has. LeBron has only beat 11 50-win teams in the playoffs. LeBron plays against a very meager team every year they play in the finals. So, it's not his fault. You play who the schedule aligns, but normally he's got a stacked deck of cards. But it's okay when LeBron gets a stacked deck, but everybody else can't have one. They got to criticize them. And the NBA decided to go up against Golden State because in free agency, Kevin Durant went to where he wanted to go. And legally he could. The NBA just didn't want him to go there. So they the one promoted this entire bashing of Kevin Durant. They pushed it. They promoted it. LeBron is not going to the Houston Rockets. He's only going to the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James will go to the Lakers. The very next year after he joins, they're going to get Klay Thompson. He'll be a Los Angeles Laker. And it'll be LeBron and Klay can just stand in the corner, catch and shoot. They'll have Paul George probably, or Melo. But it's going to be another stacked deck. I can guarantee you that. Klay, he's gonna retire Klay is gonna retire a Boston Celtic. Remember, I told you guys, I told you 2 years ago, Klay Thompson will be a Los Angeles Laker. That's gonna happen. Klay is leaving. After next, when his contract is up, he is gone. Golden State will not be able to sign him to a max deal. The Lakers will be able to sign him to a max deal. He's going to the Los Angeles Lakers. He's going to play where his daddy played. And that's that. The NBA loves that. Then you're going to have the Lakers in the finals with LeBron James. That just would look terrible for LeBron's legacy. If LeBron goes there, he can't say nothing to Kobe. It's like you can't. There's nothing you can say. You're not even on his level. They don't. They had a petition. The fans started a petition. The fans of Golden State and then the Laker fans got together and said, we don't want Kobe Bryant. I mean, we don't want LeBron James on our team. They don't need him. To be honest. The team right now is winning with what they got. With Isaiah Thomas, Randall, everybody else, they really don't need them. The media love for LeBron James has caused so much damage to the NBA that I don't even think they recognize the type of damage that they're doing to the league, because it's so powder puff and soft and girly. Because see, the NBA is not a sport; it's a business, and that's what people got to realize. Basketball is a sport. The NBA is a business. Nobody's talking about how Bobby Weber has came in his first year as general manager for the Toronto Raptors. He has turned the Raptors into a number one seeded team. And turned them into a number one seeded team. in the NBA. They changed their entire offense. Their entire game has come in, and Bobby Webster said, "Look, I'm gonna give you the weapons you need. This is the way we gotta play to compete. We gotta play West Coast type basketball. We gotta change the game up." DeRozan worked all summer on shooting from the outside because people forced him to do that. They wouldn't let him drive because most of his points used to come inside the paint, and he refused to shoot threes for the majority of his career. And he changed his game this season, and by doing that, he's improved a lot. Boston was the number one seed, but they had a problem. Going up against Cleveland, they had a game plan for them, and that was get the ball out of Isaiah Thomas's hands. And by the time they played Cleveland already had Kyrie just worked them out. There was nothing they could do. So a lot of writers, they don't believe in Toronto, but I'm like, they have earned it. I mean, this team only got 17 losses all season long. They've been just as good on the road as they have been at home. They've improved. They got other guys that's making baskets now. They're moving the ball around. They seem more like Golden State than any of the teams that I've seen playing. They've beaten Houston, the Rockets, the other team, hot team in the West, the number one team in the NBA. They beat them. So they beat, I think they beat Golden State this year. They beat all the top teams. Blew Cleveland out. So Boston thing is injuries. They get injured, they all out. Like Kyrie's out, Smart's out, Big Al's out, Diaz is out. All these guys are out right now. So when you starting to see all of these people go down, and now it's like, wow. Oh, Jesus. Somebody put a massive donation in. Brandon Norman. Jeez, thanks, bruh. You came right in. Like, my goodness, again. I appreciate that, B. Man. I guess he like when I spit the truth. Well, he made an accident twice. Because he did it before. I really appreciate that. Y'all need to take his lead. He done showed y'all the way. Y'all should put some donations down. That's LeBron money. I need it, B. Need some LeBron money right now. Donate my LeBron All-Star jersey. Oh yeah. See, the problem is that LeBron James can't play with an NBA coach. He got to go to somebody that he can intimidate with his celebrity, with his fame. He would never play with Popovich. LeBron could never go there and intimidate Pop to run what he wants to run. That's not going to happen. So LeBron already knows me playing with Pop and Pop cussing me out can't happen. So that's not going to happen. He's going to go to somewhere with Luke Walton, who he could bully and talk about and push around. But to be honest, how many teams we saw play better than Cleveland? No matter all the players they had on their team, don't care how they stacked the deck up, and they can't blame injuries when they were losing before the injuries happened when they had a full deck of people. So when you start going in that succession, you start to see what it's really about, like what the game is really about. It's all a business. It's all promotion. It's all just a bunch of BS. Luke Walton is a privileged coach. He's not a good coach at all. He's a glorified babysitter, to be honest. He's not really that good of a coach. Sorry about that, Of course, they just want Curry to be that. Steph Curry is the new face, darling puff piece guy they could promote. So he's soft, he's safe. They can promote him and show his face 24/7. That's what they want to do, and make their little storylines. But what suffers because of it is the actual basketball play. No, the NBA is a business. Basketball is the sport. Like I told you about MMA, and it's the utmost truth. UFC, the UFC is a business. MMA is the sport. NBA is the business. Basketball is the sport. So that's what you got to remember. I don't understand why they start doing all that stuff. Before Brandon's wife sees it. Well, no, you got to look at the scenarios of what's happening in reality and what's happening in the... Well, you're in a different type of situation. You're in a situation where you're dealing with oh, well, that's crazy. You're in a different situation, man. You're dealing with the fact that LeBron's gonna run the league. It's similar to like Michael Jordan. You know, it's similar to Michael Jordan's situation. You know, so Jordan was running the league, but he didn't have any power over the commissions and everybody else when he came to actually doing something for the Chicago Bulls. The owners had say as to what goes and what doesn't go for the actual teams. No matter how big Michael Jordan was in the NBA, they were never ever going to be able to do anything to Michael Jordan. And Jordan could never get anything. They always treated him as just a player. Jordan never got one basketball player. How many championships would Michael Jordan have if they would have got Michael Jordan some help? They got him Dennis Rodman. And he was able to get 3 championships. Michael grinded out. Michael Jordan didn't even want Tony Kukoc. They got Tony Kukoc. They got Tony Kukoc when they were Tony Bell. He balled. Yeah, when they got him. But he didn't want that. They didn't want Tony Kukoc. That was a Jerry Krause decision. Jerry Krause and the general managers actually ran the NBA. Like, they didn't run the NBA, but they ran their teams. That was back when the owners was running the NBA. Now the players are running the asylum. They all have been spoiled by the way LeBron James has come in here and manipulated the entire NBA. They have a soft a soft president, commissioner, or whatever. So because the commissioner is soft, Tim Duncan versus Kevin Garnett. Tim Duncan was way better than Kevin Garnett. He was more polished, more seasoned, had way more moves. There was no stopping him. It was the chemistry. That's why players back then played on the same team for so long. It takes time to develop chemistry, to know what each and every person does and what they do. It takes time to develop all of that. Now the league doesn't care about it. All it cares about is merchandising. All it cares about is merchandising and what else they got? They got merchandising and points. Wilt Chamberlain was very. Here's the thing about Wilt. Wilt Chamberlain was very. As a defender, he was very overrated. I felt at that point. As a defender, he was. But there was things that Wilt could do in his time, in his prime, that offensively that basically had him basically just one of the most incredible in the world. And like he could actually, there weren't 3-point baskets back then. Everything was at the rim. He could throw the ball from like way at the top and just throw baby hooks over and and get the baskets to go in. He was incredible. He could throw 3-point hook shots. And that's why I keep telling y'all triple doubles don't mean anything, because they didn't keep a stat back then on those stats like triple double. So, if they did, Wilt averaged over 10 blocks a game. So, he had over 10 blocks, double rebounds, and points per game. Yes, and he scored 100 points in a game. Now, Bill Russell was shorter than him and was able to outplay Wilt in a lot of those games that they played, and that's made the legacy why the Lakers just couldn't beat the Celtics. And when they had somebody like Bill Russell who made his career off destroying them. This Bill Russell was about what, 6'10", 6'11", and was able to D up, Wilt Chamberlain, and that was it. That's really all they needed from Russell. And Russell was just he was defense, then offense. You mean to tell me Brandon the only one that's left for donation? Shame on y'all. Hakeem or Kareem? That is a very hard decision to make. Because it's hard to go against Kareem. I'm telling you, Kareem in his prime, Kareem got moves. You can't get the shot, to block that hook shot. He could throw it from anywhere, and there was nothing you could do about it. Well, let's look at Russell Westbrook and what he provides as when it compares to LeBron James. Russell Westbrook has been to the NBA Finals with Kevin Durant, and they had a young James Harden who hadn't come into his own yet. Westbrook right now is scoring a high average of points, assists, and rebounds more than LeBron James did at this point in his career last year. Give him his props. I just said he's better than LeBron James. Does anybody believe he's the best player in the NBA? No, he isn't. Westbrook, he bricks a lot. He shoots a brick shot, and his jump shot needs improving. He needs to learn how to finish with his left hand better. And yeah, I mean, he's got 3 titles because he participated on a team that had players to help him get those 3 titles. His first title he got, he could thank Wade and Bosh for that. The second one, he could thank Ray Allen for keeping him alive by hitting that 3 so that they could go to overtime. Then he could thank Kyrie Irving for hitting the shot to win it against Golden State. So at no time did LeBron James in his 3 championship appearances was the determining factor. But yet, they love to blame Kevin Durant. Westbrook only seems to play for the stats. What does LeBron play for then? Like I said, this is the this is the exact mirror image of what I was talking about. A lot of it's fake, John. A lot of it's airbrush BS. Completely overhyped. But like you just said, Westbrook, he only plays for stats. What do you think LeBron playing for? He ain't playing for stats? Thanks, Cam. Somebody needed to say that. The chosen one to frozen one. Of course, his field goal percentage is atrocious. He's a brick shooter. That's why he's Westbrook. Because the media is controlled by the league. It's like the NBA runs just like the UFC. The UFC is not the only, they're the business, they're the company. MMA is the sport. But when you say MMA, people think UFC. If you say basketball is the sport, NBA is the business. But if you say basketball, normally there's high school, there's college, there's everything else. But if you say basketball, people are going to think mostly the NBA. So they're the business. So if you're a sports writer out here, no, John, I'm not saying he's one of the greats at all. LeBron James, to me, is not even close to being one of the greats. Because if you think of all the great players that have played this game, there's no way he's even close. He's not even the top 100 of these players in the NBA. It's not even close. I can't put LeBron over the Iceman, George Gervin. No, Mr. Jim Japers or whatever your name is. You don't understand because you watch too much ESPN. If you've ever watched the games, you would understand what we're talking about. I would rather take Lillard over Westbrook any day. If it depends on what I'm playing for. Westbrook is playing for stats. He's another LeBron James. He's just better than LeBron. That's it. The only thing about him is that's LeBron if LeBron don't get any calls. That's LeBron if LeBron don't get the media. He don't get any respect. That's him. LeBron is like 6'8", 280, knocking people over like bowling pins and going up in there throwing up some shots. Westbrook attacks the basket in reckless of fashion, but he has not made any adjustments to his game. And the adjustments he needs to make to his game is very simple. The adjustments Westbrook needs to make to his game means he needs to develop a left hand. He has no left hand. He always attacks from the right. When he attacks from the left side of the basket, he's got to pull up because he don't know how to finish with his left hand at the glass. Westbrook definitely needs to work on that. And he definitely needs to work on improving his jump shot. Kevin Durant is a better basketball player than LeBron James and has always been a better basketball player than LeBron James. The only thing that LeBron James could do that Kevin Durant can't do is pass better. Kevin Durant can pass, it's just that LeBron is a better passer of the basketball than Kevin Durant. Other than that, Kevin Durant is a better rebounder than LeBron James. He's a better defender than LeBron James. He's a better scorer of the basketball than LeBron James. He's a better three-point shooter than LeBron James. What do you want to determine this by? Because Kevin Durant is definitely 10 times the player LeBron James could ever be. Kevin Durant has more blocks than LeBron James right now. So what are we talking about? He got more blocks. Are you kidding? Kevin Durant he's averaging about 2-3 blocks a game. Well, no, he's trying to save it up. He's playing D this year. No, because the NBA is telling you he's playing D this year. Kevin Durant has played defense his entire basketball career. His entire basketball career, Kevin Durant has played defense. The NBA is deciding to tell you this season Kevin Durant is playing defense, and he's dedicated to both sides of the ball. You see what I'm saying? It's the media. And then you guys regurgitate it out your mouths. They feed you this nonsense. They don't tell you about Toronto and how well they've done. They don't tell you what Bobby Webster has done and how he went and brought in like all these key players. This is his first year as general manager of the Toronto Raptors. Okay, when they lost their general manager, they promoted Bobby Webster as their general manager this year, and they're number one in the East right now. And the way they're playing is entirely different than how they played in previous years. Toronto's playing defense. They're moving the ball, and they are committed. I'm an anybody versus LeBron James fan. You should know that. LeBron has had their number. You must mean in the playoffs. This isn't the same team. Do you know why they lose in the playoffs? Because they are Toronto. They played the same way. Thanks, Mr. Hose. I appreciate that. So his wife won't see that. Oh, you know I'm waiting for that. Mr. Peterson, stop. There's nothing you can say that prove that LeBron James is even better than Westbrook, period. At this point in time, I would take Westbrook over LeBron, period. Yes, LeBron has been playing 15 years. But if you've been cupcaking it for the past 3 years, he really ain't been doing nothing. He just been scoring on offense. He ain't playing any defense. I know, Kyrie's out now. That whole Celtic team, this is what I told you about the Celtics injuries. They would go to the finals it depends on where they are injury-wise when they go into the season. Tice is out for the season. Smart is out right now, probably for the season. Kyrie's knee is hurt, so they're going to try to rest Kyrie for the playoffs. And be careful with how they do that. They got second place on lock. They're not going to lose that. But Big Al is hurt. The whole team is banged up. Well, the NBA is a business. They control it the way they see fit. They want to have referees in there that they're told don't call traveling, don't call offensive fouls. The people are here to see these players, so no matter what they do, just try to keep them in the game, let them be stars. They feel that's what's going to bring more money to the game. And the NBA has focused most of their attention because the kind of type of commissioner they have, he's more into the marketing, expansion. He don't care about the actual product that's on the court. And for that, he turns to idiots like LeBron James, and he let Chris Paul and all the rest of the union people kind of run the asylum, and they just sign on and agree to do whatever it is that's on the table. The game was a lot better when David Stern was the commissioner because you don't have an idiotic. Well, it's not idiotic if you're looking at it from their standpoint because everything is more, costs more. I mean, that's the thing about Paul. Paul is a true basketball player. He went to college. He was a true point guard. He's the last true point guard we've seen in a long time. His problem has always been injury. It's never been his ability to play. That's why we call him CP injury. Lewis has come from Lewis must be like you must be suffering from like the young people itis, because every time anybody make a statement, you talk about hating. Now you're hating, dude. You don't even know what hating was. Nobody's hating on anybody. We're stating facts. Why do you think his name is CP Injury? Because he always gets injured. That's why we always say this when the playoffs come. Did I ever say he could not play basketball? Did I not say he was great? No, Lonzo Ball is a true person that should be playing in a G League, D League, or in the CBA somewhere. He's not NBA material. Period. He's just not. You think Lonzo Ball is NBA material? Ball's gonna be MIA in a lot of games. He'll have one game where he might be hot, and then he's gonna be back 4 for 30 and 4 for 20. And but the way the NBA is set up now, you can basically make anybody a star. And the way the NBA is running their business, everything's social media. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. The way they're running the game now, like with social media and everything, what they're doing is allowing you, the fans, to determine who's gonna be popping and who's not. Y'all, they let doggone Lonzo Ball on a reality show, got a lot of followers. The NBA put him on the Los Angeles Lakers, made the Lakers draft him. So now they're gonna build Lonzo Ball up and sell him. How many times you've heard the ESPN mention Lonzo Ball? The Lakers are losing. They don't mention the Raptors. They don't mention OKC as much as they mention Lonzo Ball. Westbrook is he's the current MVP right now. He's not going to get it this year. But he's the current and reigning MVP of the NBA. And you talk about Lonzo Ball, then you talk about him. Lonzo Ball has done nothing. He didn't do anything in college. He went to the NBA tournament, the NCAA tournament, and they choked. Julius Randle's putting in work because he got Isaiah Thomas in there. Once Isaiah Thomas is in the game, he causes a breakdown in the offense to where they don't have to worry about it. When you got Lonzo Ball, who's a complete idiot, you got a point guard who shoots maybe 2 free throws a game because he's scared to go to the basket. He wanted to shoot the 3. You got to penetrate towards the basket and be able to make that assist. Isaiah Thomas breaks down the defense because he knows they're going to put 2 guys on him. They got to respect him on his jump shot. They don't even respect Lonzo Ball. They force him to take it, and they treat him like a punk. He got to aggressively go to the basket, split the defenders, draw some double teams so it makes it easier to pass and dish off to somebody. We always knew Isaiah Thomas could play basketball. What is you talking about? See, that's what I'm saying. You don't understand. What in the world are you talking about? Well, Kyle Kuzma's great in the point. Isaiah Thomas had to put him in check. Okay, he gets a triple-double now. What? Anybody can get a triple-double now. It doesn't really mean anything. Why is it negligent? It doesn't mean anything anymore. The game has changed now. So averaging a triple-double is not the same as averaging a triple-double back in the olden days. It's so easy to get a triple-double now. You've seen everybody get it. Simmons just had a triple-double last night. So all you got to do is get 10 points, 10 rebounds, or 10 assists, or 10 block shot. That's so easy to get in today's game. They put the scoring up because they opened the lanes for you to go in there and score. You can't clog the lanes no more. Everybody's shooting threes. You got teams that's shooting 33s a game, and they're shooting 33%. That averages for more long rebounds. So you don't even got to post to box nobody out because everybody's outside of the paint. Do you know that 75% of the rebounds LeBron James gets are uncontested rebounds? %75 of the rebounds LeBron James get are uncontested. That means if my 3-year-old cousin was under the basket and the ball came down, I told him to get it, he could get it. Nobody's there to stop him. I'll be, go get the ball. He gonna go pick up the ball. I mean, he didn't need to go to college. LeBron, the NBA, no, they knew since high school he was going to the NBA. They sent him an agent. He drove a Hummer his senior year of high school. They knew where he was going. They knew he was going to go to Cleveland so they can keep him at home. And once again, as I told you, the NBA is a business. A business. Yeah, they've been grooming him. Like he said, he's the chosen one. They chosen him to be the face of this league, and they're going to keep shoving him down your face like a bunch of bad lettuce. As your mom's like, make sure you eat that lettuce. Right, the NBA is going to show you they can create anything they want. You got a social media player in Lonzo Ball. They want to show that they could create him to be another great basketball player and mold him, and he just isn't it. He doesn't have the mentality to be the man. So they're going to put him with LeBron. They're going to put everything around him. Boost his stocks up. And you're going to see what's going to happen. So, We'll just wait and see. But your boy Carcino's finna go to bed. Y'all have a great night. I'm finna go to sleep. See y'all in a little bit.